Hello, everyone. It's good to see you again. I hope that you're well, and I hope that the past 2 weeks have been good for you. For me, they have been quite busy. The days have been quite busy. I'm currently transitioning from one job to another, and that involved me having some interviews with good outcomes, though. So I'm very grateful for that. I'll be looking at potentially starting a new job next month, which it's very exciting as well as nerve-wracking. I'm sure you can all relate to what it means to start a new job, and yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. I do love a challenge. For today's video, I have two goals. The first one is to share with you some knowledge that I've gained from the research I did when I looked into the pathways that are available for training in Scotland to train as a counsellor or as a psychotherapist. The second goal will be to share with you the choice that I made in terms of the training pathway I've chosen for myself, and I will offer you some details as to why I've chosen that specific pathway and what factors have contributed to making that decision. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into me sharing with you some information that I have about what route you can take to train as a counsellor or as a psychotherapist in Scotland. To my knowledge, and I did quite a lot of research, I like researching well any level of education that I'm thinking to undertake or level of training, so I can guarantee that the information I'm offering is up to date as well as valid. So the first training pathway that I'm going to talk about today is the certificate and then the diploma. That is the pathway that you would take in Scotland if you want to qualify as a counsellor. And the certificate and the diploma both need to be COSCA accredited. COSCA is the organization or the accreditor body in Scotland for counselling and psychotherapy. The second pathway is to go on and do either diploma and then a master's in counseling and psychotherapy, or just in psychotherapy. The first pathway would require you to potentially have an undergrad degree in a relevant field, but not necessarily. And by relevant field, I'm talking about the social field or even arts. But it's not an essential condition. I think what they're looking at is for you to have a good level of education, or if you don't have that, at least to have good relevant working experience. And if you have them both, that's fantastic. The main key that they're looking at when someone is undertaking a COSCA counseling course is for you to maybe just have a little bit of basic knowledge as well as a little bit of basic work experience. Ideally in the relevant field, like social fields, but not necessarily. Why so? Because the COSCA counseling certificate level 8 doesn't qualify you as a counselor. It's just an introductory course for those people who seek to become a counselor, or for those people who just maybe seek to learn a little more about what counseling is, what a counseling approach is, just learn basic counseling skills that they could apply in their work, the current field that they are, or maybe just transition to a different field and apply those skills. So yeah, you'd have to first complete a program, a COSCA counseling certificate program, and then that would allow you to progress onto a diploma program. The COSCA counseling certificate skills level 8 is provided by various organizations and charities around Scotland. In my area, for example, Centre of Therapy in Glasgow, they provide a CBT focused certificate in counseling skills, or another organization that provides this course is Edinburgh College. However, their approach is more person-centered, and they have a more integrative element to their course. After you complete the certificate in counseling skills level 8, then you are allowed to progress onto a diploma. You can also do this certificate in counseling skills level 8 with a university, such as University of Edinburgh. Of course, the costs of the course differs between Edinburgh University, for example, the Centre of Therapy in Glasgow, and Edinburgh College. So to be honest, between the Centre of Therapy in Glasgow and Edinburgh College, in terms of costs, there is much of a huge difference. With the Edinburgh College, the cost of the course is £1,300, which you can pay in installments. And with the Centre of Therapy in Glasgow, the cost of the course is £1,100. With the University of Edinburgh, the price is way above 1,500. And I'm just going to stop there with giving financial details, because especially with Edinburgh University, the cost changes every year. So, and there is a little bit of a mix between doing the certificate alone with them and then progressing on to a diploma that kind of mixes up the price. They merge them in a weird way. So yeah, if you're interested in doing the certificate in counseling skills with Edinburgh University, I do recommend you check the price. For me personally, it was a no, because I've studied with them before, and I know they have very high fees. They do also offer quality studying, so yeah, it is what it is. And so yeah, as soon as you completed the certificate, you can do this part-time or full-time. You can complete it within 6 months, or you can complete it within a year, or 13 to 14 months, depending what provider you're choosing. All these providers are COSCA accredited in Scotland and are entitled to provide this course on behalf of COSCA, following a clear standard and structure that COSCA sets for them. So that would be the certificate. The diploma, as soon as you completed your certificate, level 8, you can then progress on to a diploma. Similar to the certificate course, you will find around Scotland and around Edinburgh, where I live, a lot of organizations that are COSCA accredited to provide a diploma in counseling and psychotherapy. The program duration is 2 years. You'll have to do this program part-time. That's a requirement to allow for personal development and development of self-awareness, as well as development in time of the skills, and allow the knowledge and the skills to form and settle. So yeah, you can do the diploma course again either with a university, or you can do it with any other third sector organization that provides this diploma, which again, all of them follow the standards, the clear standards and structure that is set out by COSCA. In terms of price for a diploma course, it roughly starts at 3,500 for both years, and I think the maximum I've seen so far is £8,000. So you should expect to pay between 3,500 and £8,000 for a diploma course in counseling and psychotherapy. Again, the price will differ whether you're choosing to do it with a private organization, such as a charity, or for example, Centre of Therapy in Glasgow, they offer a diploma course, or with a university such as Edinburgh University, they offer a diploma course in counseling and psychotherapy, and the price will differ. They have their own system of setting fees, and yeah, I don't necessarily actually know what I'm thinking. the starting price for a diploma in counselling and psychotherapy with Edinburgh University would probably be £8,000 onwards. So yeah, that's the first training pathway. So as soon as you completed a COSCA certificate level 8, then you progressed onto a diploma and you completed a part-time 2 years course that you qualified in counseling, and you have the right to counsel people. You have the right to offer your services. Your course program, your course certificate program will focus a lot on teaching you the introductory and the basic, the foundations, theories in counseling and psychotherapy, and you will explore and learn about what counseling skills are, and you'll have a chance to practice on a weekly basis gradually different types of skills such as active listening, challenging, ending a session. We'll discuss about that when I'm going to, in the next video, and I'm going to share about my learning experience. So it focuses very much on helping you to develop foundational theoretic knowledge and skills that anyone who considers becoming a counselor needs. At diploma level, you will be expected to have a capacity to engage with a lot of academic content, and you will be asked to write various essays on academic topics that have to do with counseling and psychotherapy, as well as in the first year you will continue every week or every second week or every month, however your course is structured, to practice counseling skills, and you will be counseling your peers, and your peers will be counseling you, and you'll receive feedback, and your tutors will support you in your learning process and development. So it is very well structured. And the second year of your diploma, you will be doing a placement with a specific service that you can choose in collaboration and with approval from your course provider, or that you can access through your course provider, because each diploma course provider will have partnerships with various services, counseling services across the area where you study, and they will help you progress onto a placement and complete your placement with that service. You'll have to complete 120 to 150 hours of counseling as a student counselor under supervision and with support from senior staff and from your course facilitators and tutors. During your course, your certificate course, you don't have to have supervision or personal therapy. However, at diploma level, you will be required to engage in a number of hours of supervision that look at the work that you're doing in your placement. So you'll be using that supervision with a supervisor counselor to discuss how you find yourself working with those clients, and just to discuss client work mainly, as well as you'll be required to do your own personal therapy, because as I've mentioned in my first video, personal development and self-awareness is a major element in this field and this profession, which I really applaud, and I think it's essential. So I'm very happy about that. In terms of supervision costs and personal therapy costs, most of the counselors within your area, whether that's England or Scotland, there's kind of a standard fee. They will charge you between 30 and 50 pounds for 1 hour of counseling, supervising counseling. So you'll be entitled to a discounted price. I'll have a sip of tea. For every 6 clients that you'll see in your student placement, you'll have to have 1 hour of supervision. I remember I worked up a cost, so probably for supervision you would look at maybe another £1,000 added onto the initial price that you're paying for a diploma course. That's not included. Well, most of the providers don't necessarily include the price of supervision that you are required to have during your placement. As I said, there is also a requirement for personal therapy, and that again will be available to you at a discounted price as a student, again ranging from 30 to 50 quid, even maybe 25 to 50 quid, depending on what counselors you find and it's a good fit for you. So yeah, that is the first training pathway. You first complete the course, the certificate course, then you go on to a diploma. As soon as you completed your diploma, you are in a place where you can apply for accreditation with COSCA. I will talk about that when I will reach that stage, because probably then I'll have more experience and more knowledge, current knowledge to share with you, because I'll be involved in that process. I've heard it's pretty straightforward. There is nothing else that you need to do. There's no other courses you need to do. No other requirements, but just the certificate, the diploma, and then you complete the application process with COSCA, and then you are an accredited counselor. Of course, a beginner, early stage. So yeah, that's the first training pathway. The second training pathway, it's pretty similar to the first one, in that you can, if you've completed an undergraduate degree in a social field, social sciences or arts, you can then choose to do a master's in counseling and psychotherapy with a university, or you can choose to do a diploma with a university that will then allow you to qualify as a counselor. Now, each university will have their own criteria to access a diploma course or a master course. So yeah, if the first training pathway would be a certificate and diploma with either a university or an independent charity or organization, which is COSCA accredited, the second one, I would think it's, well, first of all, it's more expensive, but it's just different. It's not necessarily better or worse, as I said. So yeah, you will be doing a diploma, a master's, or if you want to do, if you are a young person out there who didn't study at all yet, you can look at doing a bachelor degree in counseling and psychotherapy, then progress onto a master's degree. I personally find myself in a place where I've already studied a lot, so for me, the second training pathway isn't the ideal option. And yeah, the financial costs are really high for the second training pathway. However, if you haven't studied at all in Scotland currently still, studying your first degree will be for free. For those of you there who didn't yet study their education journey. So yeah, as I said, bachelor, master's, then you're qualified with COSCA. Of course, you would choose a course, a university and a course that is accredited by COSCA. So you'll do a bachelor degree in counseling and psychotherapy. Then you'll do a master's, or you can do a bachelor and a diploma and a master's, or you can do a bachelor and a diploma, or you can do a diploma and a master's. I hope I didn't confuse you. So yeah, that is the second training pathway, which can appear a bit more long-winded and a bit more intense. However, I can clearly see that it is a very good training pathway and very rich in content. You'll be studying, well, counseling and psychotherapy for 3 years to start in your bachelor, during your bachelor degree. Then you will be looking at maybe completing a diploma or a postgraduate certificate in counseling and psychotherapy with that university that again would be COSCA accredited and would allow you to qualify as a counselor, or you can do with a university directly just that certificate in counseling and psychotherapy level 8 and then progress on to a diploma. And then that you qualified, if you have enough relevant work experience and an undergrad degree, you can just go and do certificate and diploma with the university, and you are then a qualified counselor as soon as you get your accreditation with COSCA. Or you can, again, if you have relevant work experience and you are in a ready place, as they call it, most of the universities, or as COSCA itself calls it, you're in the ready place, you can, as in you have the skills and the knowledge, the relevant skills and knowledge, you can just do a diploma with them, with Edinburgh University, for example, one university you could study with, and then just qualify. That's it. There's no further qualifications that you need to gain. Both these training pathways do qualify you as a counselor, and it's really important for you to know from the very beginning to have a little bit of awareness of what kind of counselor you see yourself being. And when I'm saying that, what I mean is, what is the approach you feel like you resonate more with? What's your natural style of helping? Because that will help you choose the best training pathways that would fit you the best. By that I mean you would want to learn about yourself if you are a more CBT oriented person, which is cognitive and behavioral therapy, or if you're a person-centered counselor, which involves and implies that you're not in a place of being an expert, but you are in a place of accompanying a person on their journey towards healing and self-knowledge, and hopefully you'll be able to guide them, but not to lead the process. Or if you're more of you have more of a preference for the psychodynamic approach, which looks very much onto the impact of our past experiences, and again, it entails that the counselor will have more of a expert role in the therapeutic relationship. So yeah, that's me on my first goal of this video. Now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my second goal, which was to share with you about my choice, the choice I made for my training. So because of my educational background and my work experience, I decided to do a COSCA certificate level 8 this year, and then progress on to a diploma, which again I will start this year as well. Normally you wouldn't progress on to a diploma until you finished your certificate if you don't have relevant working experience or relevant education in that area. Let's say if you did a degree in maths, you'll have to complete first certificate, then after you complete that certificate, that would allow you to apply for a diploma. But for me, as I said, because I'm coming from social sciences background in terms of education, and I have work experience in social care, healthcare, and mental health and well-being support, that allows me to do this. So I've chosen Edinburgh College as a provider, mainly because the factors that have contributed to my decision were first the approach of the course. They offer a person-centered and integrative approach to their course. That's the approach the course has. As compared to the Centre of Therapy in Glasgow, they offer COSCA certificate in counseling level 8 with a CBT approach. I do like CBT very much. I can see its value, but for me personally, I wanted to start my journey from a person-centered place and from an integrative place. And by integrative, I mean integrating all the psychotherapeutic modalities that are out there that I just mentioned, like CBT, psychodynamic, person-centered, and many others. Yeah, so the cost of this course is £1,300. The COSCA certificate course in counseling skills level 8 will be split in 4 modules. Currently I just finished module 1, and I'll be sharing in my next video my learning experience and my journey so far. Also, I've chosen this course because it's closer to home, and that would make life easier for me. So yeah, I know geographical reasons and the approach have been like the 2 main factors that have contributed to my decision of choosing to do the course with Edinburgh College and not with the Centre of Therapy in Glasgow. As well as, well, financially speaking, the Edinburgh College course is more expensive with £200 than the one offered by the Centre of Therapy in Glasgow. But when you calculate the cost of travel and commute, kind of works a similar price. So it didn't make much of a difference there, to be honest, between the two of them. But yeah, probably the main reason is just because it's closer, as well as of the approach. The diploma course that I will actually be starting in September, I've chosen to do this diploma course again from an integrative perspective. So the diploma course that I've chosen, again, approaches the training from an integrative perspective. It has an integrative approach, which will involve all the main psychotherapeutic modalities that are used in counseling and psychotherapy, which is again CBT, psychodynamic, and person-centered, or humanistic psychodynamic and CBT, as some people call it. I've chosen a provider after I've actually attended a course, a shorter course with them, just to give me a taste of what being taught by them or training with them feels like. How are the what's their way of working, to meet the facilitators and the tutors, and just get a taste of what my experience of training for 2 years with them would look like, and whether they are what I'm looking for in terms of a good fit. For me, it's really important, the people I work with and the people I get trained by. So yeah, that really contributed to my decision of choosing the provider. The provider I've chosen, it's named Vital Connections. Actually, they're now rebranding themselves, and they will be called Vital Pathways, Vital Training Pathways. And yeah, I do look forward to it when we start in September. For that, I had to do an application and an interview. I forgot to mention that for each of these programs, whether it's a certificate program or a diploma, you'll have to do an application. Then you'll have to have an interview, then maybe you'll have to have another interview, because they will have to look at your level of knowledge, as well as your level of skills, your level of personal development, and altogether your readiness to, as a human being, to undertake this training, because counseling training does require a lot of change in you as a human being. You will have to look at yourself very well and very deep. And I think it's essential to be able to do that, because you will be looking at supporting other people to contain very difficult feelings, and it's really important that you have an ability to contain your own feelings to start with, and that you are aware of your own feelings. So yeah, I think that is everything I wanted to share with you today. I hope whatever you've heard here is of support or of interest. I'm really curious to hear what would be your opinions on the 2 training pathways that I've shared with you. Maybe just one little aspect, the equivalent of that I want to bring forward before I end this video. The equivalent of COSCA in Scotland, which is, as I said, the organization that accredits counsellors and psychotherapists in Scotland, is in England is BACP, and that stands for British Association of Counselling and Psychotherapy. They have very similar training pathways, COSCA, certificate and then diploma, or bachelor, diploma, masters, or bachelor, diploma, bachelor, certificate, diploma, certificate, diploma, masters if you are studying with a university and if you've never studied before. The only difference, I think, it's the number of hours they will require you to have in your student placement, but that's a very fine difference. I think it's a difference of 30 hours or something like that. I personally am looking actually at accrediting myself with BACP as well, because I potentially see a future where I'll move to south of England, and I would definitely want to have the right to practice there as a counselor or as a psychotherapist. So yeah, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed hearing my experience and learning from my experience and from the knowledge I've shared with you. Stay well. I look forward to seeing you next time. And yeah, have a good day. Bye for now.